Welcome to today's 10-minute kettlebell workout. All you're going to need is one bell, maybe a couple if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. This is going to be conditioning focused. It was my conditioning workout earlier, so I just want to share the love. I love doing these type of things because they're very accessible, even though these are a little bit more intermediate movements. I'll break things down. I'll give you some variations, especially if you're not super familiar with the kettlebell. Anyway, I have it broken down in that it's going to be 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, so you want to use something light. Remember, this is conditioning focused. So we're going to do a Deadstart rotational clean. We'll work on one side, then go to the other side. We're going to go into a half kneeling press, one side, the other side, and then we're going to go into a swing to squat. So it's technically 5 different movements because we're working unilaterally. We're going to go through it twice. All right, so we'll start off Deadstart rotational clean. So grab your bell. I'm going to start my timer. That's how I have to think about reps. Bell's on the inside of your right foot. You're going to grab the bell with your left hand. When I say we're going to go into a Deadstart rotational clean, full 90-degree pivot. So grab that bell, ready, set, and pull. I'm going across my body, coming right back down to the inside of my right foot, across my body, right back down. So I'm driving explosively through that planted foot. The other foot, heel is off the ground. I'm trying to bring my hips down pretty low as I'm doing this so that I'm not putting too much pressure on my lower back, so I don't want to be in a really high hinge here. If you need some assistance, use your other hand for support to catch that bell. So that way it doesn't slam on your forearm. And if you want to make it super conditioning, just move faster. But drive through and then pivot off that back foot. And time. Woo-hoo. 40 seconds of work. So don't worry about counting reps right now. The whole purpose here is just to move well, to challenge yourself through these different ranges of motion. We're going to go to the other side now. So instead of going right into that half kneeling press, we're going to go into the Deadstart rotational clean. And go. So I'm getting full rotation here. I'm pivoting off both feet, and I'm going to make a 90-degree turn. So I want to go across my body. Driving off this fully planted foot. That heel is up on the other side. Use your other hand as support as needed. And once you start kind of moving and grooving on this, it's going to be pretty challenging. So I want you to make sure that form still looks good. You're keeping your core tight, abs engaged, and your form looks solid. And time. All right, next one we're going to do, we're going to go into a half kneeling press. So it's going to get challenging, especially for 40 seconds of work. So that's why we're going really light here. And once you get to the point where maybe you can't press anymore, just hold that bell in the rack position to keep that stability going. So I'm going to bring it all the way overhead, controlling the way down. All the way overhead and back down. So we got some pulling, we got some pressing. And what I like about this half kneeling is that it's going to make this lighter bell feel a little bit heavier. It's definitely going to feel a little bit more challenging, taking the legs out of the equation. And I want you to go full range of motion. So get to that top position, try to almost push your chest forward so that your bicep is right next to your ear. Oh, 40 seconds feels like a long time when you're pressing. And down. Whew. Other side. Give you a nice side angle here. Oh, heart rate's already up. Oh, if you already did your pressing, this might not be the best exercise for you. However, I didn't, so that's what we're going to do. So notice the overhead position here. Notice how I'm getting my bicep to my ear. So if you find yourself getting kind of stuck here or you're driving your hips forward, just go half range of motion. So even though it's not ideal for mobility's sake, or just lighten the load. Go even lighter than you think you need to. If you don't have a light enough kettlebell, use a dumbbell, use some bands. The whole point here is we're trying to challenge ourselves. Even though it's conditioning focused, it'll still get you a little stronger. Abs nice and tight. Once it gets too difficult, you can even hold the overhead position just to practice that overhead stability. And time. All right, for the last movement, it's going to be a swing to squat. So I'll show you the advanced version, and then we'll go into the basic version, simpler version. You're not basic. So we're going to do a swing, transition right into a squat, back into a swing. As such. swing, transition, right into a squat. Right into a swing, right into a squat. So only focus on going about chest height here, abs tight, and make sure get down a little bit lower with the squats. If that's too hard, just make it a squat, let that bell come down, come right back up. If that's too hard, do a deadlift, transition, squat, right back down. Deadlift, right into a squat. Otherwise, swing the squat, baby. I don't know why it's telling me that, but I'm already feeling my heart rate up there. Oh, man. All right. So that was round one. We're going to go one more round through that, and you're good to go. All right, Deadstart rotational clean. Ready, set, go. Now I'm going to move a little bit faster here and just keep things rolling. Shoulders above hips, drive through the ground, abs tight. Working my grip here, working my shoulders, definitely working my heart rate. Keep it going. If you have to, simplify it. You can take away the rotation, just do a Deadstart clean. Or you can even change it up and go into a dumbbell. So that 20 seconds is gonna feel like nothing by this round that we are currently in. 5 seconds. Ready, set, go. Full clean. Drive through the ground, abs tight. Let that barrel rotate around the forearm. Don't let it come up and over and slam. So if you have to, use your other hand to finish the movement. And even as you start to fatigue, the set starts to wear on, drive through the ground, full rotation, full pivot. And you shouldn't be feeling that in your lower back at all. If you are, double down that tension on your front side. And then if you have to, go even lighter. All right. All right, bottoms up press. Or sorry, half kneeling press. And from right here, again, don't worry about reps. Just nice, solid movements. You should feel good. You should feel in control. Should feel relatively comfortable. Heart rate should be up there. It's freezing outside and I'm getting a little sweaty. Now, freezing is relative because I'm in Southern California, so it's not actually freezing. But it's cold for me. Remember, once you can't do any more, just hold the rack position, hold the overhead position. You can even hold halfway if you're an absolute crazy person. All right, other side. Give you a nice side angle, side profile. So as you're doing this, make sure you're not leaning back. You're trying to stay pretty vertical with your torso. And go for it. So notice how I'm not leaning. I'm trying to stay pretty vertical here. Back down, control that descent. So even though I did my heavy pressing the other day, this is a nice way to get it in a little bit more volume. Just practice the movement pattern. And like I said, just give me some conditioning when I don't feel like going for a run or going and doing a cardio machine, or I don't feel like doing a ton of a single exercise like swings or snatches. And last one, swing and squat. Oh, I'm literally, heart rate's up there, feeling good. We're gonna do the full swing and squat. I'm just gonna power through this sucker. So, no rest. Ready, and go. Swing. right into a squat. Swing. Drive through the ground for those swings. Make sure you're not bending backwards. Right back down. That's why we're going light here. So same thing if you're feeling any pressure or excessive pressure on your lower back, double down that tension through your abs. Almost there. Just chest height. And, time. My goal with these is just to give you these kind of 10-minute quick workouts that if this is all you had time for, phenomenal. I get it, I got kids, I'm busy, I don't always have time for a full 45-minute, hour-long workout. But if you've got some time, as I continue to compile these, and I got a lot more like this stuff, you get to kind of play around with it, have some fun with it, and incorporate a few of these into a workout. But if you only got this 10 minutes, you know what? Pat yourself on the back because you did more than what most people are going to do for their fitness. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this. And like I said, got lots more coming. And if you want to get even deeper on kettlebells, I got some free courses, I got some programs, I got some other stuff on my site, but I'll get some links and all that kind of stuff down below. But as always, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.